Latent semantic indexing, LSI, or theming pretty much means the same thing when it comes to search engines and Google. When you write about any topic, then you're going to have to use certain words and phrases to write about that topic, otherwise it's not going to make sense. For example, if you were writing about diabetes, you would have to use words and phrases like this: pancreas, glucose, blood, type 1, type 2, insulin, sugar, blood sugar levels, weight loss, risk factors, and so on. If you didn't use words and phrases like that, then you couldn't possibly write a good article on diabetes. And I'm sure if you go through the SERPs in Google, the search engine results pages, then you'll see that these pages use words and phrases like that. But I want to show you something else. I've searched for diabetes there. It's a big topic. Yet if I scroll to the bottom, and I've currently got it set so that I get 100 search results, if I scroll to the bottom of the page, I can see there's only 4 pages. And if I go to the last page, scroll to the bottom, I can see here that Google is only showing 308 results. In other words, there's only 308 articles that rank for the term diabetes. Google has stated, in order to show the most relevant results, we have admitted some entries very similar to the 308 already displayed. That means to rank in Google, your first step is to be able to get into the ranking pages, the pages that Google shows for the terms that you want to rank for. In this case, diabetes. Only 308 pages in Google for diabetes. However, if you look at the top of the search results, you can see that Google knows about 283 million pages on diabetes. Yet, let's go back to the page 4. Now it's got 307. Only 307 are good enough to show for the search term diabetes. What happens if you're not in those 307, 308? Well, in that case, you're assigned to the Supplemental Index. And as you can see, in 2003, Google started a special separate index of pages called the Supplemental Index that it will query if it fails to find good matches within its main web index for a particular set of keywords. Sites that appear in Supplemental Index are usually for obscure and unusual queries. So how does Google decide whether a page goes into the normal index and can rank for a keyword phrase, or is not relevant enough to rank there and is therefore put into the Supplemental Index? Well, this is where the idea of latent semantic indexing, or LSI, comes in. If a page has the words and phrases that are expected to be in an article, then it has a better chance of getting into the main index. If it doesn't have those words and phrases in, then it's going to be shoved into the supplemental because it's not as powerful a page as those that do use the correct terminology, the correct niche vocabulary, the correct words, phrases, theme words and phrases, if you like, to correctly and accurately and authoritatively cover the topic. And that's what I want to explore in this video. I've drawn a diagram here that explains how I look at latent semantic indexing and the idea that Google uses it for ranking in Google. We've got a big rectangle here, and on the left-hand side of the rectangle, we've got those pages that are ranked in Google. We saw for diabetes that it was 307, 308 pages, and then there was a cutoff. There were no more pages shown because the rest of them were in the supplemental index. This cutoff usually takes place between 300 and 600, but over the years this number has been getting less and less. It used to be 500 to 800. Now it's down to 300 results to 600 results. It depends very much on the topic that you're searching for. So in this diagram, the left-hand rectangle represents ranking in the normal Google. The right-hand represents hidden in the supplemental index because they're not actually ranking. As we go across the bottom, we're going from left to right, and it's increasing in Google rank. So right here on the left hand side, that's the page rank number 1. The other thing to notice is this large triangle that I've drawn within inside the rectangle, and this represents the number of theme words and phrases that are found in an article. So down at number 1, we would reckon that those pages ranking in the top 10 are going to have nearly all of the correct theme words and phrases. Google sees it as authoritative. Google sees that the latent semantic index is working, that all the words and phrases are there that should be there, and therefore that's why they're ranked number 1. As you move down the Google rankings, then the number of theme words perhaps get less and less as you go down. But depending on how competitive a term is, you might find a term that has very little competition And in this situation, those pages that rank in the lower areas of the proper Google ranked search engine results pages will have less and less theme words and phrases. However, Google normally compensates for that, and then this line between normal rank and supplemental will just move to the left, and we'll end up having the line over here. So it will only show the pages that are actually really good fits, then the rest are shifted into supplemental. And if there aren't enough results to show, then Google may dip into that supplemental result. But as a term becomes more and more competitive, what we're going to find, I hope, is that this triangle moves to the right and expands. So even at the cutoff point between the normal ranked and the supplemental index, we're finding a large number of theme words and phrases still within those web pages. That's what we're going to try and look at right now. We're actually going to do a couple of little experiments. And the first one, I'm going to take the diabetes example that we used earlier. I'm going to create an article here. We're going to call it gestational diabetes. This is an example I've used in the past, and I like this one just because I do know a little bit about diabetes. I'm going to open the article. I'm going to go over to the keyword section, and I'm going to just do a search for gestational diabetes. Now what this tool does, and we're going to use the one-click spider method, what this tool does is it goes away and it will grab the content from the top 10 ranked pages. In this case, I've got 10 selected there, and it will extract the theme words and phrases within those pages. And then we'll see whether there's certain words and certain phrases that are essential to the gestational diabetes niche. So I'm going to just click the one-click spider, and it goes through the process. I'm going to pause the video for a second. And we're just getting towards the end of the analysis now, and then we'll get our results displayed in a separate screen. Let me just drag it in so you can see it. These are the results. So we've got the LSI keywords and phrases. We've got one word phrases. The numbers after the pipe represent the number of pages in the top 10 where that word is found. So for example, babies found on all 10 of the top 10, as is pregnancy. Well, gestational diabetes is a type of diabetes that affects women who are pregnant. So that shouldn't be any surprise. Weight, blood, diabetes, diet, disease, gestational, glucose, health, healthy. These are all really important words and phrases. Now I could clean those up a little bit, but I'm going to leave them as they are right now. We've also got phrases. So gestational diabetes is an important one that's found on 9 of the top 10 pages. It doesn't mean to say that the other one didn't talk about gestational diabetes, but because it's a phrase, they may have used a slightly different phrase to explain it. We've got type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, blood glucose, blood sugar, pregnant women, risk factors, insulin resistance, and all of the other words and phrases that make up the niche vocabulary, or the theme words and phrases that are essential to cover this topic. And if I just open up this LSI cloud, you can see them. The bigger they are, the more important they are. I can actually put them in a numerical order. So we've got baby, pregnancy, weight, blood, diabetes, diet. So these are the important factors. And if we look at the phrases, gestational diabetes type 2, that's actually a longer phrase, type 2 diabetes, blood glucose levels, sugar levels, pregnant women, risk factors type 1, and so on. All I'm going to do, I'm going to close that tag cloud. I'm going to just save these to the article that I created so you can see them over here now. And the phrases are in there. Now, what I'm going to do is something that is in my developer version of my Web Content Studio tool. It is not found in the retail version of this tool. It is my own secret research lab. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in gestational diabetes, spell it right, into a Google scraper that I've created. This is not part of my Web Content Studio. This is a U-bot bot that I created, which basically will go through Google for whichever term I choose. And let's just choose a file name, gestational diabetes.txt. And it will extract the URLs of the ranking pages. So let's just start that running, and you can see it's going to Google now. It's searching for gestational diabetes. It will scroll through the results pages until it gets to the end, and then when it gets to the end, it will tell me that it's finished. There we go. So it's now finished. If I open that file in a text editor, you can see we've now got a text file with all of the URLs that rank from number 1 all the way down to the end. And in this case, we have 341 results. So gestational diabetes, 341 results in a text file. Okay, so this is where the magic is going to happen. I'm going to click on my little Easter egg button, and I'm going to grab the gestational diabetes URLs. And then I'm going to import the URLs into the grid, the 100 grid. And so what we've got is we've got the top 10 URLs, then we've got those URLs ranked 101 to 110, then those URLs ranked 200 to 210, and then those URLs ranked 300 to 310. What we're going to do is run a theme report on these URLs so that we can see how well themed these URLs are against the theme words and phrases that we found using the spider. In other words, the LSI theme words and phrases. And what it will do is it will then produce a summary of the rankings or the theming of these top 10, these ones here in position 100 to 110, another summary from 200 to 210, and a final summary from 300 to 310. So we can see whether, as we move down the search results page, whether those pages that are ranking in the normal Google are still well themed for that particular set of theme words. So you can see now it's working away. I'm going to pause because this takes a couple of minutes. And we've got the results now. And what this report does is it lists every URL that has been analyzed, and it gives you an individual little theme report for each URL. And then these highlighted numbers are the theme score and the quality theme score. The theme score is just how well the article has used the words and phrases that we've chosen using the LSI spider. You can see 100%, it's used them, it's used most of them, it's used them in the ways that are expected. The quality theme score can sometimes be a little bit lower because that is something that this software calculates as a proprietary calculation that tries to factor in things like over optimization. So it is possible, because this software tries to be very strict, it's all about helping you write content, not analyzing content. So I'm using it in a way that it shouldn't really be used. But if that is a little bit lower, it might just indicate that one word or two words are being used perhaps slightly too often. So as you can see, for each result in Google, that's the position number 2, position number 3, position number 4, and so on, we've got these little theme reports. But if I scroll to the end, we can actually see a summary of the theme reports for the different areas of the SERPs. So for example, the top 10 URLs have an average theme score of 100%, so they're all being used really well, and quality theme score 90%. So they're being used, there isn't an awful lot of over optimization. If we scroll down to the URLs found and positioned in Google between 100 and 110, 100% quality theme score, 88.9% quality theme score. That's almost the same, 90%. If we scroll down to those URLs ranked 200 to 210, the theme score average, how well they're using the theme words and phrases that the spider chose, 98.1%. Again, almost perfect, and quality theme scores down a little bit. If we look at the URLs ranking 300 to 310, you can see the theme score is still nearly 100%. The quality theme score down there to 71.6 probably indicates a slight falling off in the quality of the articles, perhaps a little bit more over optimization in those articles down there. But as you can see, even those URLs ranked at the very bottom of the normal search results are still highly optimized. In fact, if we go back to this diagram, this triangle doesn't really seem to work anymore because, oh, I've grabbed the wrong thing there, because what we're seeing is that even those articles that are ranked right down here at the end have most of the theme words that the ones ranked in the top positions are ranked for as well. So this is actually, the point of this triangle would be further and further to the right. Let's go back to Google. We'll pick another phrase to do the searches on and see what else we can find out about this LSI theming model. So I want to find a phrase that I can use to generate theme words and LSI words, and then we can do a few more experiments. I like to use phrases that I know a little bit about. Probiotics is a good one because I know it's going to give me the opportunity to use a few different examples here to explain what you should and shouldn't do. Firstly, probiotics is a very broad topic. I wouldn't want to try and find LSI theme words for probiotics because there's all sorts of different probiotics. There's soil-based probiotics, there's lactobacillus-based probiotics, and so on. So if you were writing content, you wouldn't want to find theme words for probiotics. You want to be as specific as possible. To take a different example, you wouldn't do a search for phone charger. You would be looking for a specific type of phone charger, so an Android phone charger or an iPhone phone charger or so on. You need to be as specific as possible. So I'm just using probiotics as the initial seed search, and I'm going to pull up one of these articles here just to see where I can get a seed phrase from. Okay, we've got types of probiotics. This could be interesting. Okay, and we've got Lactobacillus, Bifidobacterium, and Saccharomyces. Let's take Lactobacillus because most people have heard of that. It's the one that comes in dairy products. But again, you see Lactobacillus, if I do a search of Google for Lactobacillus, we're going to get different types of Lactobacillus as well. Let's have a look down here. We've got Lactobacillus acidophilus. We have, let's have a look, they all seem to be the acidophilus ones there. Okay, we've got a different one here, Lactobacillus gasseri and others. There's different reasons for Lactobacillus as well. What I'm particularly interested in perhaps is the health benefits of Lactobacillus. So let's just search for that. And you can see that Google says there's 493,000 results. Let's scroll to the bottom and see how many results there really are. Okay, we're back to page 4 and you can see 351 results. In order to show you the most relevant, it's showing you, it says 358 there displayed, and the others are all put back into the supplementary index. So what are the words and phrases that make these 350 something articles rank for health benefits of Lactobacillus? Let's bring up Web Content Studio. And what I want to do is just create a new article to hold the data. So I'm going to create a new article in selected project. Let me just kind of drag that over here. There we go. I'm going to paste in the title, Health Benefits of Lactobacillus. Open the article. Okay, now this is the Health Benefits of Lactobacillus article open. I can go over to the keyword generator and I'm going to just paste in my phrase. We're going to use the one-click spider again just to speed things up. And again, I'm going to pause the video until this is finished. And you can see the results now. On the single theme words, we've got things like health, benefits, probiotic, acidophilus, bacteria, lactobacillus, probiotics research, and so on. And then we've got lactobacillus acidophilus, irritable bowel syndrome, health benefits, weight loss, lactic acid, fermented foods, digestive tract, heart disease, side effects, and so on. If we look at the LSI cloud, we can get sort of an overview picture of all those, so we can see what the important theme words are for this particular topic. Let's just save them to the article like we did before, and you can see all of the theme words now are in there. I could probably reduce these a few, things like the word found, maybe people or use or used, just use one of those. I could clean this list a little bit, but let's just go straight over to the Easter egg, and I'm going to import the top results for health benefits of Lactobacillus. I've already run them through my little spider. And let's import the files. So let's make sure I've got the right ones. Yeah, probiotic acidophilus. We've got so 1 to 10, 100 to 110, 200 to 210, and that's it. So we didn't end up with over 300 results at the end. Let's create the theme report. And again, you can see it's working through here. It's got a lot of results to get through. I'm going to pause because it'll take probably 1.5 to 2 minutes to complete this. And that's now finished, so we can go through. Again, we've got the individual theme reports for each of the URLs in the analysis, but let's scroll to the bottom to see the summary. And the averages for the first 10 URLs, theme score 100%, quality theme score 100%. Well, they're obviously very well themed around those niche theme words. The pages ranked 101 to 110, theme score 100%, quality theme score 93.8, again really high. And then those that are ranked 200 to 210, again we've got theme scores of 100% and 100% for quality theme score. So all of the pages all the way down are ranking because they've got all of these theme words included. But this actually brings up an interesting point, because if the pages that are ranked down at the bottom of the Google SERPs are all highly themed, then we don't need to get the theme words from the top 10. I mean, obviously it's going to be better because you'll get more of them, but we should be able to get theme words from lower down the results as well. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go down to the bottom and grab the last 10 URLs and save them to a text file. There we go. I've saved it as ranked 201 to 210. Let's just save that and close that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the keyword spider. We're going to open up a new article, and this one we're going to call Health Benefits of Lactobacillus 200. And I'm going to put that 200 there just to remind myself that the theme words are coming from the pages ranked down around 200. Now, instead of using a root phrase, which will pick the top 10, what I can do actually is select text file instead. So let's select the text file where we put those URLs from 200 to 210, and we'll run the spider again. And you can see it's now working its way through those 10 URLs taken from the bottom of the SERPs. And you can see that those have now finished. And we've got very similar results over here. We've got on 9 of the top 10 pages, we've got health, we've got bacteria on 8, conditions, lactobacillus on 8, probiotics, benefits, food, immune, beneficial, system, digestive. And we've got some phrases, health benefits, immune system, live bacteria, probiotics, supplement, digestive tract, beneficial bacteria, and so on. So we've got a lot of the similar words and phrases, but remember these ones were mined from the pages that are ranked at the very bottom of what Google thinks are good results. So what we're going to do, we're going to save it to the article. So we've now got all of those theme words and phrases that we've just mined from those pages lower down the rankings. We're going to open up the Easter egg again. We're going to check those theme words and phrases now against the same URLs. So when I click Create Theme Report, it's actually going to use these new words and phrases and compare them. So we can pause the video until that's complete. Now it's just finishing up the last batch of files. What I'm hoping to see is that even though we've chosen the theme words from the lower ranked articles, I would still expect to see all of the pages that rank in Google are pretty well themed for those theme words, because my theory is that all of the words that are ranking well, all of the pages that are ranking well, use the same batches of words and phrases that are essential, the theme words, the theme phrases, the LSI content that is needed to make them rank. So here's the results. Let's scroll down and have a look. So position 1 in Google, that has 100% theme score, 85%. 100%, 100% for number 2, 100%, 100% for number 3. Let's scroll down to the summary and see where that is. So those pages ranking in the top 10 have an average theme score of 100%. So they're all using those theme words that were picked from those pages ranked 200 to 210. They're all using them really well. The quality theme score is down a little bit, down to about 90. Maybe they're over-optimized slightly for some of those words and phrases. Then we've got those ranked 101 to 110. Again, theme score 100%. Quality theme score 84.3%. And those ranked 201 to 210, theme score 100%, quality theme score 96.9%. So I hope what you're seeing here is that all of those pages that rank in Google do indeed seem to follow this type of model, where you get all of the words that are ranked in the main section of Google up to about 300 before the supplemental cutoff. They all are well themed around the same topic. What you expect, or what I would expect, is as the topic becomes more and more competitive, then the amount of theming that goes on down at this end gets greater and greater and greater. So that those pages that are ranked down 200 to 300, as there are better pages submitted and published in Google, those are the ones that are going to fall off the bottom into the supplemental eventually. Gradually, over time, the search engine results are going to get better and better, but based on the words and phrases, the LSI content that those web pages contain. So the original question before we started this video is LSI still important in 2017? Is it still important in 2018? Is it likely to still be important in 2019 and beyond? And I think quite clearly you can see that there is a trend going on to make content more full of LSI theme words and phrases. And so in order to compete, in order to get into Google and avoid the supplemental, you're going to need to take more and more notice of the LSI words and phrases that you're putting into your content.